Alright, this will be a video covering how to use the practice tools for Ahead in Time. I will link this spreadsheet in the description, which should tell you everything you need to know, but it is a lot of information, so I'll cover just some of it in this video, some of the most important information. And to use any of this, you will need the console commands plus mod that you install from the workshop here. I will also leave a link to that in the description. This will also work on downpatched versions of the game. You just need to subscribe to the workshop mod. And it should appear in-game in your mods under the miscellaneous tab. You might have to scroll down to find it. For me, it's right here. You'll want to make sure that it is enabled and set to always active. And you might want to set it to while open when you do runs to disable your cheat binds. Alright, to cover some of the most useful commands and how to bind, I'm going to use this table here. This is a small list of the most versatile, most useful commands and suggestions for where to bind them, although you can bind them wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Let's say I want to bind Ghost to my O key. So for that, I will open my console by pressing backtick or tab. Backtick will bring it up like this. Tab will bring up just a small one down here. I can open my console, type set bind, and then the key I want, and then the command afterwards. And if this doesn't work, you can try putting quotations around the command. But most of the time it should work without the quotations. So with that, I can now press O, and I am using the ghost command. So I'll go over some of the most useful ones, such as Ghost Slow-Mo 100. This will allow you to fly around. Ghost allows you to fly around with no collision, and Slow-Mo 100 will speed up the game a lot. So when you combine the two of those, you can fly around with no collision very quickly, which is useful for just navigating through the map to a specific spot. And then Walk and Slow-Mo 1 are just the inverses of those. It will bring you back to normal after you're done using these. So it's useful to have binds for that as well. Restart IL and reset map collectibles together, bundled like that. This little bar command lets you put multiple things in one bind. So you can also copy and paste directly from the spreadsheet. It should work. So like this, I can bind this to V, and I can press down. This one might require quotations to work actually, because it's multiple commands. I think that one requires quotations to work properly. I bind that to V, and this is normally not the screen you get, but let me just do this, and yeah, there you go. It will reset to whatever level you joined, so could say I joined this map through contractual obligations. It will reset me to contractual obligations. So, and the reset map collectibles part will just like put yarn and relics and stuff back into the map. So you can practice with those still in the game, and you can like know where they are. So that is easily the most versatile command that you'll use all the time. Disconnect goes back to the title screen, which is just useful for resetting. And that one works without a cheat bind, so be careful with that. You don't want to accidentally press that while you're in a run, because then you will end your run. So put that one far away from everything else you're using. I put mine on N, which is far away from all the other keyboard stuff. You also have save pause and load pause, which are fairly intuitive. You just save your position, and then you load your position. Now, most levels, to reset and practice them, it is enough to just use this normal reset bind, but some levels listed here are slightly different. We'll need some different setup to reset properly, and this minimal version of the sheet down here covers all the levels that are different, that require things different from this command. And some of them are just simple. You just type Mafia boss fight to get to the Mafia boss fight, toilet fight to get to the toilet fight, and you have Metro Jewelry to get to the jewelry store in Yakuza. But the ones marked in bold are a lot more complicated, and the way these work is you type this command only once. You only need to do these once, and then you type this command on the right to actually call that command. So let's take this massive subcon well command. I can copy and paste that into my game here. It says I already have one, That's just because I do already have it, but for you it should say like that it will have successfully created the bind or the combo command. And now after I've done that, I will never have to type this into my game again. I can just type cc well, and that will run this command for me. And some of them have additional requirements, like here, like you have to also be in the subcon forest map, and the yellow firewall must be down. Some of them are less restrictive, like main station you can just use at any time. So I can type cc well here. I'm in the subcon forest map, and the yellow firewall is down. So I can type cc well, and that will set up the file in a way where I can play well with basically the conditions you would see in a real run. So like you don't have your hook shot yet and stuff like that. For Nyakusa, you will have to run this cc metro command first to remove 2 timepieces from the file that get in the way of the normal Nyakusa gameplay. And then you can use metro jewelry just to teleport to the jewelry store, which is where you will get all of your timepieces except for the first one, which you can reach with this command ccms. So, one last bit. Mustache scroll fight commands here. The most useful ones are just mustache scroll fight that takes you to the fight, and mustache scroll hyperzone, which takes you to the rainbow phase specifically, and then go to boss state mode final, which skips the final phase, but you must already be in the hyperzone. So to go to final phase immediately, you just use this one first, and then you use this one. That should cover everything essential. And again, the link to the spreadsheet is in the description, so you can read up on it in the full sheet for more information, more commands that are useful. And there's also a full command list in the spreadsheet over here.